It's a quickie today as we've made a lot of headway into our super not so secret project of learning Unreal Engine and getting things done with captures. Things are coming together and hopefully we'll be debuting our new Karen Reed related icons and graphics tomorrow in time for her next court appearance. Learning is supposed to be getting harder as we age, but a few YouTube tutorials and some patience and we learn what we set out to learn and put a plan of action into place. For those wondering, yes, we apparently still have the license to feature Aiden Turtleboy Kearney in his underpants in the Unreal Engine. Oh yes, yes we do. Try to get that out of your mind as we jump into GoFundMe. DeCastro loses to us? Saturday was another bad day for the campaigns of Jose Chile DeCastro with an overall take of $0 across 4 official fundraising campaigns, one completely fake one, and one that seems to be a tribute band of hatred against the bespectacled YouTube superstar. In the week that he returned to YouTube, he's gone from taking in thousands of dollars to hundreds of dollars to tens of dollars to completely being forgotten in the crowdsourcing space as no one seems to be reacting to his call for action. He's lumped in with others that he considers inferior, like Sean Paul, Long Island Audit Riaz, Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova, and Salmo. The alpha male, the top dog, the complete failure as a human being, a son and a father to the 5A cop card, an indestructible trifold, and an all-around swell guy? We've lingered too long in the world of DeCastro depression and despair and turn our attention to Direct D, since we're grading well below the curve at the moment. Christopher Direct D. Ruff started the summer with the willingness to clear his name of the nasty warrant out of Gilbert, Arizona for his arrest for skipping court dates. He was also angry because after he threatened to decapitate some police officers last year, a bulletin was issued warning the police of his violent threats. Direct D tends to ignore that little part because the bulletin was leaked by someone working in the police department and he was outraged. A little thing like saying he was going to cut some police officers' heads off is something that shouldn't be held against him, I guess. He swears he didn't mean it, that he's not violent, that he's learned. He's more outraged at the moment that the memo existed, and the police were doing something about the leak that saw him see the memo than anything else. But then again, this is the man who is so defiant of the police that he's remaining in his studio, getting high on camera and essentially seeing his life through a smoky cloud of smoke and what the fudge have I done to myself as he replays DMA video and says what a good boy am I. Yes, Direct D has also lost the plot. He is no longer challenging the police in live audits. He seems to be too scared of his outstanding warrants to leave his newly furnished studio. All he seems to want to do is get high and play the same old game the rest of the auditors are doing, recycling old anti-police videos and boosting each other while watching others take the fall. Again, at the start of the summer, he had a plan to raise his $100,000 to hire the same lawyers as James Freeman. He even had talk of having one of Freeman's lawyers establish himself in Arizona just to help Direct D and others fight against policies put in place by supposedly corrupt police forces and officials. There's been no movement since his donations have all but dried up to his GoFundMe campaign, and the only reality his fans need to face is that he's on a goal to become the first person in history to die from a overdose, which, believe it or not, is more likely to happen to him than me dying on air for Pope Phil's enjoyment. Be afraid. Christopher Direct D. Ruff's Clear His Name Fund stands at $11,395 out of its $100,000 goal and an 11% completion rate. Since we're not monetized, if you'd like to join our daily hate watcher in making us try new fruits that will probably kill us while forcing us to write this column every day, we do have a GoFundMe of our own. All proceeds go to keeping lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. Turtleboy says it's the other guys. As we're less than 24 hours away from the next hearing in Karen Reed's retrial for the second-degree murder of John O'Keefe, Aiden Turtleboy Kearney and others have stepped up to say that they are personally not guilty of anything related to anything. There you go, there's the story for the week. Turtleboy says everyone else did it, not me. The latest scandal rocking the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is the Great Front Yard Scandal, as supposedly members of the anti-Karen Reed movement, supposedly led by the soul-stealing Kate Peter, are going from lawn to lawn like a summertime Santa Claus, throwing balloons filled with bleach in an attempt to destroy the lawns of those involved in the Free Karen Reed movement. So vile and dire are these people that, much like the culprits who supposedly lynched a turtle earlier in the month, there's no footage from Ring cameras or other security cameras or hard evidence that this was carried out. But by God, there is outrage. Turtleboy is good, says Aiden Turtleboy Kearney, having Jess Machado on his Turtleboy Live program to swear under turtle oath that the only people who intimidate and harass anyone are the people on the other side. Everyone in the Free Karen Read movement are saints, not sinners, who went to church, don't cheat on their wives, and would never film themselves masturbating on their special couches and distribute those videos to others in an attempt to pick up women. No, despite folks from the movement sending public tweets to others to unalive themselves, there's no evidence, no outcry, and no proof whatsoever that they've ever done anything wrong. In fact, they've been persecuted. Aiden Kearney went to jail for your sins, for Karen Read, and for America. We can see it now. No, not that image of him getting porn bombed by the real porn filmed by himself last year, but Aiden appearing on Fox News and everywhere else, representing the good people of America and telling no lies as he looks you directly in the eye and tells his truths. Just don't shake his hand because you know where it's been and why it's sticky. The Turtleboy outrage comes as he's attempting to rally troops in support of Karen Read at her hearing tomorrow. At stake is currently 2 of the 3 charges against her, with her defense team now claiming that the jury actually found her not guilty of second-degree murder and leaving the crime scene after knowingly injuring someone with her car, despite not actually having that verdict entered into the record. They claim to have heard from a friend of someone who knows 6 of the jurors, and for sure it was 12-0 votes to acquit Read, even though there have been no actual affidavits from any of the jurors involved, and the only juror who has given an affidavit about the case said they couldn't agree on anything. It's a long shot, but stranger things have happened, even though traditionally when there's been a mistrial and the jury doesn't come forward with an actual verdict, you don't get the rights to say, well, they were gonna find her not guilty, so let's just go with that. Kearney has been pushing the defense theory. He does expect to be among the crowd of supporters for Karen Read at the courthouse tomorrow afternoon, and you can buy your free Karen Read merchandise on his website because, with every dime he earns that is going into his tiny pockets, he's fighting for freedom. The Karen Read murder trial continues on Monday. We'll be simulcasting coverage of it on our YouTube channel. Again, thank you for your patience during the last few days as we've learned Unreal Engine. I realize how much I've missed interacting live with the audience, and we're set to return to live events tomorrow with the Karen Read hearing. The hearing will be in place of our regular Drunk Girl video, but don't worry, Karen Read as a Drunk Girl is an apt replacement, and we'll bring the regular Drunk Girl lineup back later this week. Our panel shows will also be returning, and of course the near-nightly watch-along to the news stories also return tomorrow night. We're on a quick exit tonight with a lot of things going on, so be safe and see you tomorrow for our continuing Karen Read coverage.